Say hi to the camera, Charles. No, he's camera shy. Hopefully you can hear me over him. But hey, welcome to Minty TV. Today I'm going to talk about the tattoo process and what to do in it. A lot of people have asked me, whether it's the first tattoo or haven't got tattooed in years, what's the process? What do I do? Well, I'm going to hopefully help you out today. The first part in the tattoo process is ultimately thinking about what you want. Think about, the design. Think about what you want in it. Think about the placement of it all. What style do you want it in? How big you want it? Do you want it to be visible? Do you want it to be hidden? Do you want a memorial piece? Do you want it to be a best friend tattoo? Something funny, something whatever. There's so many different things you can get tattooed, especially nowadays where it's almost a completely custom aspect of it. So when we're talking about the design and what you want to keep in mind, you don't want to put 10 pounds of stuff in a 1 pound bag. Especially small, if you put too much into it, it's gonna look muddy, it's gonna look terrible, it's not gonna make for a good tattoo. And that's essentially what you're doing. You wanna get a good tattoo that's gonna last a long time. You gotta think of style too. Style is very important. Do you want color? Do you want black and gray? There's also styles too where you can do, like, for example, I'm a big new school guy. I can do a big, beautiful color bomb new school piece, or do a new school piece in black and gray. Placement's a big thing. You want to make sure that it's facing the right way. A lot of people get tattoos on their wrist that are facing them. And yes, I get it, it's for them, but traditionally it's facing outward. And I know it's for you, but it's still at the same time, you want to decorate your body properly. But in the end, it's your body, your decision. You got to think size too. And size varies what you can put into it, how much detail you can put into it. The smaller you go, the simpler the design has to be. Another thing in design to think about too is to kind of try and be more original. I get that dates and names are super important, never a significant other name. You want to make sure as personable as possible. If you go into the shop and you get someone's name and date, that's fine. Maybe that's what you want, but say they love video gaming and you get a Nintendo controller because they played Nintendo, and you don't even have to put their name and date on it. You could just get this to symbolize them and it'll mean more to you in the end rather than just their name. And a lot of times too, with people getting things for their parents. My mom, if I were to get a tattoo for my mom, I would probably do an image that represents her rather than doing just her name. Because first of all, I never call my mom by her first name. She's Mom to me. That's her name to me. A lot of times people will get their name and then they'll get Jan or Jim or Jenny or whatever the parent's name, but you never called them that. So it kind of loses its personal side to it. Plus, when you get a design that it doesn't say anything, it adds more to the story. It's more of a conversation piece. Now again, in the end, it's up to you what you want to do. I just try and push to be more creative or have more of a story to tell, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're putting a part of this person's a part of your story, and you're going to permanently put it on your body. Think about something that means something to them that you can relate and like enough to want to wear on your body. Hell, just for example, I just recently did a memorial tattoo for someone who is a White Sox fan, but the brother who passed away was a huge Cubs fan, and this guy got a Cubs logo on him. Now, I give this guy credit. You won't ever see me do that, but this guy went that far to get a Cubs logo because of his brother and how much love he had for his brother. There was other things with it, but that was one thing that stands out to me, that even if you don't love it yourself, it makes you remember this person. Why not go for it? When you cite all that and what you want, like I just said, we talk about the placement and all that. One more thing too I want to add about placement is the different body parts hurt one person to the next differently. But commonly, your feet, your ribs, your hands, your neck are the most painful body parts. Anything on the torso, realistically, like, chest plates, those aren't too bad, but sternum and all around here, I'm a big boy, so I got a lot of space. So it means a lot of pain. People say all the time, oh, it's close to the bone, or it's this or that. A lot of times, it's really, as funny as it is, if you're ticklish in an area, chances are it's gonna hurt more. That's just because you got more of those nerve endings and whatnot going on. So if you're super ticklish, chances are that tattoo's gonna probably hurt a hell of a lot more then nah. Keep that in mind when you're choosing placement. Pain levels and what can be done all matter. I would say the next process is after you choose your design and kind of what you want. Obviously, you don't have to have the design walk in to a shop and say, this is exactly what I want. Too many people do that, and you just gotta be able to let them go. No. We'll try this one more time. This is Charles. We'll say hi to the camera, Charles. Nice camera shot. Hopefully you can hear me over him. So after you got what you want picked out, and maybe some reference photos that you found on Google or Pinterest or wherever you found your reference photos, try and bring some kind of reference. We like to create things as much as possible, but we still like to kind of see what you're thinking. Because you can tell me rose and I can think of a rose differently or a skull differently. There's so many different styles out now, especially. You want to kind of show some reference of what things you like. Next thing you want to do is choose your artist. You want to choose them, whether you heard from them from your friends, you see their stuff on social medias, Google, the shops around you, Google shops that are, hour, 2 hours away from you. Don't be afraid to drive 2-3 hours for something that's going to be on your body forever. Find the right person. But when you find that person, go meet them. Take the time. This is an investment, a lifetime investment, something permanent. You are never going to buy anything else like this that's this permanent. When you choose your artist, you just got to go with it. Go meet them. Go down there. See if you're comfortable. Walk in there. Is the shop clean? Is your artist clean? Are they attentive to you? Are they nice to you? Do you feel comfortable with them? Because most tattoos, you got the small, quick little 10-minute ones, half-hour ones, even the under-hour ones. Those are quick in and out, but you still have to sit with this person, especially if you're getting a bigger piece and have to do it over multiple sessions. Make sure you're comfortable with the person. If you feel creeped out or just unsure or whatever, don't do it. Go find somebody else. Don't feel bad that just because you didn't find that person you want right away, you have to go out and search for another. It's your body. You have to feel comfortable. Now, when you find this artist, you go down to the shop, you meet them. You can message them to see what's a good time to come in and talk to them, but essentially go and talk to them. That's where the best interaction is. I know if you live super far away, messaging or work schedules are crazy, messaging does work, but in person's always the best. That way we can visually see your body, see where you want it, get an idea of like your body type, stretch marks, moles, skin conditions. There's so many elements and it's so much easier to see it in person. And it's easier to talk one-on-one. I mean, how many times have you been messaging somebody through text message and been like, what the hell are they trying to tell me? Or are they being rude? Like, there's no way. It's so much easier to meet someone in person and get to know them one-on-one and have this pick your brain easier. Keep in mind this. If you want a custom piece, expect to go into the shop, put a deposit down, and have to come back for an appointment. A lot of artists, they want to put their heart and soul into their design. Me, I don't want to rush anything. There's been plenty of times where I've thrown stuff together and it may look good in the end, but if I would have had an extra couple hours to work on it, maybe I could have come up with something even better. Or sometimes I'm just so busy, or just like other artists, we're super busy and we may have 10-15 minutes to talk to you, but we don't have time to design the tattoo, do the tattoo and all that stuff, because the process sometimes is a lot longer, especially with the drawing process. The drawing process is a lot longer than you might think. These things take time. Most times the drawing process takes longer than the actual tattoo process. Once you chose them, met them, give the deposit, let them do their magic. Let them take control of it. You've gone to them because you've seen their style, you've seen what they can do. Just let them run with it. You'll get the best piece of art the more that you allow the artist to run with it. So now that you've got your design, you chose your artist has drawn it up, you're at the shop for the day of your appointment. The next thing is get the tattoo, but there's like an in-between step. Before you come to your appointment that day, you gotta make sure of a couple things. Make sure you eat something really well. Make sure you bring some snacks and or drinks. Sometimes you might get hungry, you might be there a long time. You might get thirsty. Sometimes you might get a little lightheaded and need a little snack, a little sugar. Boost you up. Make sure you bring that. And make sure you come in comfortable clothing that you don't mind necessarily getting destroyed. Not all clothing gets destroyed, but sometimes ink gets on it, and ink doesn't come out of clothes really well. Don't wear a white shirt unless you want that white shirt destroyed. Or don't wear white pants, or don't wear a skirt when you want to get a side piece, then you have to lift up the whole skirt. Unless you're comfortable doing that, just think about where you're getting it, and how you should be dressed. And also, don't be afraid to bring a pillow or a blanket, especially if you get cold or just want to be more comfortable. But then you go to the shop, you're there, you ate, you did all that fun jazz. When the tattoo process is going on, let the artist do what they do. Everybody knows you gotta sit as still as possible, don't move. Don't bring 50 friends with you, bring one, maybe two. Do not bring kids to a tattoo shop. I get it, your kids are well mannered. Usually the parents just say the kids are the best behaved, act the worst. But there's things at tattoo shops that kids shouldn't see. I get different parents have different thresholds, but I feel uncomfortable when I'm swearing or talking about weird stuff because I 99% of the time don't have to have a sensor on my mouth. So I feel awkward when there's a kid there and I'm talking about this or that or whatever, just being funny and trying to like hold myself back. It's not fun. It's very uncomfortable. So leave your kids at home. I know you love them. I love the kids. I love kids. We all love kids. Well, not everybody loves kids, but you get the point. Leave them at home. They're not getting tattooed. They're not getting pierced. They're not getting any of that. Leave them at home. Leave them with the aunt. Leave them with the grandma, grandpa. Just enjoy the time. Make it more your time. So when you're getting the tattoo, make sure you sit still, open, communicate with the person. If you need a stretch, if you need to walk around, if you need to stop, even if your tattoo's not done, like open, communicate. Don't just sit there and like hold it in and start shaking or get all stiff and tired and complain. You know, the more you communicate with the person, if you need a break or just eat something or take 5, you will essentially last longer because you're not just constantly go, grind. And one big thing is don't backseat drive. Let the artist go about their process. Now it's one thing if it's going and you see it going really bad or something spelled wrong or this or that or something like, hey, speak up. But if the lines aren't the way you want them to immediately or this or that or shading's going right, trust their process. A lot of times, especially with realistic stuff, it doesn't start to look like the thing until the very end when you're putting in those final sharpening details or those white highlights and all of a sudden it's like, bam, there it is. So trust the artist. You've already gone through the process of choosing them and trusting them and you've come this far. I mean, just let them do what they do. You'll get such a better process, such a better artwork. I mean, I know me, I've had a customer recently that just everything I did was just like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And it makes me more and more nervous and it makes me not want to like finish the tattoo. It makes me want to just like get it done and over with, even though I force myself to just do my thing. And then you sit there and when they leave, go off into the ether, you worry with those people the most. Like, do they like it? Is it how it's supposed to be? Like, all these things go through my head constantly. So just let them do. You've chosen to do this. Just let them do what they do, essentially. Also with getting a tattoo, shower. Take care of yourself. Clean beforehand. I know if you go to work, probably stink, especially if you work a hard labor job. Go shower. We're going to be this close to each other. I'm going to be literally touching your skin for who knows how long the tattoo takes. I'm going to be right up on you. And don't wear I say don't wear perfumes or colognes at all. But if it's an honestly mild, super light, you might get away with it. But like me, anything floral, if you come in heavily floral, I'm sorry, I can't tattoo you. My head instantly starts pounding. There's other people who are allergic to it. I mean, sometimes it's bearable, but mostly with me, anything floral or really like earthy smelling, just I can't do it. I'm getting a headache and I'm gonna have to tell you, sorry, you're gonna have to come back. But that's a huge important thing. So many people come in. I mean, I've had people come in and stink up the whole shop and they're there for 10 minutes. I've had people, and I'm not talking like perfume, I'm talking like, ooh, this person needs a shower. And I've had people come in and it smells like they took an Axe bottle and just broke it over their head. Wear some deodorant, make sure yourself's clean. You know, I can't say how many times I've tattooed somebody and I clean off before every tattoo and you wipe that skin and it's just, you can see that ring of dirt around the person. And you just think in your head like, oh my God, this person is a dirty person and this person's gonna get an infection. Because 99 times out of 100, when you get an infection, chances are it's something you did, not the artist. If you're going to a legitimate artist. Now, at home scratchers or low-end crappy shops, you're probably not going to get there's the chance they're higher. But any reputable shop, they're gonna use new ink, new needles, new everything. Everything's be clean, cavicided or maticide. You know me, I've mentioned this before. When I'm done with the tattoo, before I even wrap you up and bandage you, I clean off everything in front of you, spray it all down, so you know that I do that process every time after a tattoo, so you know that when you sat down, everything was clean. It's super important. If they're a dirty person, chances are they're gonna be a dirty person in general, and that tattoo is gonna be hell. And the shitty thing is of it all, we as artists suffer it the most, because that's when they complain about it being sore or complain about this or that, and it's always our fault. And that's what I'm gonna transition to this. After your tattoo's done, don't listen to your friends. I get it. Your friends have tattoos. Your friends might have sleeves. Your friend might have a tattoo this big, or even worse, no tattoos, and they think they're experts on it. When it comes to the aftercare, listen to your artist. Every tattoo artist knows how their stuff heals, or has a general good idea and knows how you should take care of it. You might get tattooed by me one day and person B this day and person C that time. We might all have different healing processes. So listen to them, most cases. I mean, if you're a veteran, and I mean a veteran in the sense of you have a bunch of tattoos, you've been through the healing process, you've maybe gone to several people, you know what works for you, you know what doesn't work for you. So you can kind of go off on your own. Like me, if I see someone with giant sleeves, I may say like one thing I recommend, but I say in the end, you have enough tattoos, you look like they heal nice, just do what you do. You know, that's generally the best. But for beginner people, I mean, I still have people, I have this one girl I've tattooed 5 or 6 times, and she'll still, my friend says this isn't healing right, because it's got one tiny little scab this big. Just scab it, you know, a giant open wound, scabs are gonna happen. Most times, I mean, not all the times, but scabs can happen. And I'm still like, how many times do I have to tell you, don't listen to your friends? And then they tell me my friend doesn't have a single tattoo. Like, I just want to take my phone sometimes, just throw it out the window. So anyways, when it comes to healing your process, listen to the artist, ask questions, especially if it's your first tattoo or first couple tattoos. And if you ever have a problem with your tattoo, the first thing I suggest is not listen to your friends. The second thing is come into the shop. And you can send a picture if you're far away, but coming in and letting us be able to see it in person and talk to you. Again, we've talked about this earlier. Talking face to face is so much more efficient way to go about it. But come in and talk to us, and then go from there. Shh. Again, you listen to them about the aftercare. Absorb it in, write it down if you have to, or if they give you a little sheet with it, whatever. Just follow the instructions, and if you have any concern, go back to the artist first, and then get the second opinions, rather than get the second opinions and then go to the artist. And one last thing I want to talk about too is I see people piss and moan about this all the time. Do I tip artists? Do I not tip artists? Well, we are a service industry, and I will say this, we are a service industry, but tips are never expected. We're not like a waitress where they only make $2 an hour. Yes, we don't make everything that we give. Everything we do, at least in every case I've been in, a good percentage of it goes to the shop. We don't get 100%. Like if I'm charging $100, I'm not getting 100% of it. But, and like anything in the service industry, if you like what you did, tip accordingly. You know, everybody asks me, what do I tip? What should I tip? You know, you're 15, 20%. That's that. You know me, I'm a good tipper, and anything I do, it's a minimum of 20%, unless the service is terrible. And I know with tattoos, 20% can add up real fast, but show your appreciation. You don't have to. Like, I'm not by any means saying you don't have to tip me. There's only very few times I ever get annoyed about not getting tipped, but it's not like I'm pissed off and it ruins my day. It's more like, oh, well, this person sucks. And it's usually the situations where I'm hooking them up a lot, you know, just because I want to do the piece or because I'm being nice. Usually those are the ones who are like, oh man, don't worry, I'm gonna pass out your cards. And then you don't see them ever again. Or you see them a year later, or you see them 3 years later. But I'm getting off track. But tipping isn't required, but it's very appreciative. Me, myself, the people who tip me more are the ones who, in the end, are getting the better deals. Growing the loyalty with me. From the artists I talk to, the more loyal you are to them, the better they're going to take care of you. And the better you take care of them, that just adds it up. And again, in the end, tattoo is a very permanent process. And the happier the artist is, the happier you are, the happier everybody is. And we can just create art that's badass. So just to recap real quick. Choose your design with the placement, style, size, color, all that fun jazz. Go meet the artist. Don't be upset if you have to put a deposit down and reschedule an appointment. Prepare yourself, eat well, come prepared to the shop, don't bring a ton of friends. Listen to your artist, let them do what they do. The more freedom you give us, the better art piece that you're gonna get in the end. And that's it. It's not that hard of a process. And if you have any further questions, or you've gone through these things or had a process, comment below. Let me know. Or if you have questions, more questions, comment below. If I missed something that you were wanting to know or want to know for a future video, just let me know. But thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate it. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm still rambling on, but I'm working on it. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on my other social media networks, Art of J Nazca on Facebook and Art of J Nazca on Instagram. I think I did that the right way. And if you guys liked what you saw, please subscribe and click that little notification bell to Minty TV, because this face is coming at you every week. Thanks for watching, guys. Be creative, push yourself,